Cool. I played through this entire game a few weeks ago on the channel, and it was a lot of fun actually. The game was really great. I love sandbox cities, and the fact that one works so well on Android, I really loved. However, there was two issues. One, it felt a tiny bit easy as we were going sometimes, and the second one is even if you complete the game, you entirely max out your city. As you can see I've done here, there is just no space left to build on. Interestingly enough, even if you do that, there are still a few things that you just will never unlock. There is the giant rubber ducky, and there is the party DJ, which is upsetting. So I figured, let's play on expert, let's go all the way to the hardest difficulty. Let's put, rather than saying, oh, this seems a tiny bit easy, let's put my money where my mouth is, or I guess my difficulty where my mouth is. So let's start a brand new save, a brand new city on expert. Look at that woman, she does not look happy with this, and let's see if we can grow it to go all the way to where we want to go. So, as you can see, this is our city right here. You can actually decide to re-roll, I believe. So if you want, we can be like, actually, that sucks. There's mountains, there's rivers. Let's just try and get something with, there we go. Like this, for instance, there's a big river, a bit too big, but at least it's all the way over there. We can deal with that when we get there. And for now, at least we've got a huge plains with two chests, actually. So this looks wonderful. And there we go. Good luck. Let's do this. Expert mode. Everything is a lot harder in expert mode. You get less taxes. There's a lot more like unrest. Basically, everything is just significantly harder. Can we get to level 100? Can we get that giant rubber ducky? Let's find out, I guess. So, yeah, I'm actually, I'm super excited that we have two treasure chests, because I feel like an extra $20,000 actually will be a pretty good start for me. And yeah, I guess we're just going to start with some roads. We're learning from last time. You really want to optimize your city for being big early on. Like, having to rebuild really sucks on an expert. I think it'd suck even more. So my first thing is just going to be like, actually, just one huge road. Like, this is bad city planning, or bad village planning, because we're not really a city yet. We're just one road with a car on it. I guess that's me, the mayor. Oh, no, there's two cars. So, yeah, that, good city planning, you just got to be prepared for stuff that's going to come in the future. So we'll just build a huge bunch of all the zones. So that's probably not correct, but that's fine. You just want to build a huge bunch. Oh, also, there's going to be roads over there, but we can always remove that later. And then it's like, oh, we need to get some stuff going. So yeah, I'm excited to kind of re-remember, because it's been a while since I played the game too. I find the game to be a lot of fun, and I was like, oh, it's a shame that it's over. And now, it doesn't necessarily have to be. So, I guess if we're going to have a power plant, we should work out an ideal location for it. And the ideal location in my mind is going to be somewhere... Okay, look, if we build a road all the way along here, and then... Oh, no, you don't... we're going to run into some issues, it seems. So we'll just build that entire road there. And then at this corner right here, we'll build... Because at the corners is the best place to build singles. We build a power plant, and we build a well, or whatever it's actually called. A water tower. It's like a well, except literally inverted and the opposite. But yeah, besides being the opposite, it's exactly the same. Also, same thing as usual, I have the two camera angles, so in case you figure face cam would be better if you could see out into my hallway and the very destroyed thing that's meant to control my floor, then you can see that. Anyway, let's go back and let's get this going, shall we? So, my population's going pretty well, but I have huge demand for commercial zones. There's people that can live in my city, but no one has any jobs, starting to look like insert city here that you don't like, eh? But yeah, we'll just build a huge bunch of commercial and a huge bunch of industrial. I thought, like last game, there'd be some big issues with building commercial and industrial and residential so close to each other, because I wouldn't like to live near a factory. I assume the people in the game wouldn't too, but that doesn't seem to be an issue whatsoever. So, once we got our stuff going on, as long as... Okay, you can see, even though we've got a pretty solid mixture of stuff right here, we still have the big issue of like, wait, our money's still going down? Like, we're like barely averting a tragedy right here. And this means we have to build even more stuff, so I guess more commercial, I guess? More commercial is always good. Okay, we're running out of money to build stuff. Our money is going down rapidly, and that is a kind of function of the way expert mode works. Keeping your finances just in order is a real challenge. I played a tiny bit of expert mode to give it a whirl, and as you can see, it basically means you have to raise taxes early on. Because if we're being realistic, in a place like this, we just need to have higher taxes. It's going to upset people. Some people are going to leave the city. You can see the population's going down. Oh, it hasn't even fixed my tax issues. Okay, that's a real issue right there. So, I guess we have too much supply, too little demand. So, commercial zones increase supply. So I guess we're just going to build more of those using this $20,000, I hope. 15 maybe? 30,000, there we go. $30,000. That, literally, I'm using these treasure chests just to stay afloat right here, which is, if that's not what all city mayors do, then I guess color me surprised. But yeah, I'm hoping if we build these commercial zones, everything just about equalizes out. So yeah, even though we have high taxes and we've got a bunch of zones, we're still losing money, and that's because, oh, supply has gone up even more somehow. How is that? Okay. Oh wait, no, too much supply, too little demand. That's the mistake I've made right here. So we need to, I guess, higher population happiness decreases demand. So we'll build a bunch of houses over here. Just, we need them. So houses for demand. Oh, look at that. Level up. Go me. Give me some money, please. Thank you very much. I need it just to keep me going. And then happiness comes from things like, what are they called? Like the parks? Leisure. So we'll put a small park on the next corner over. And, oh wait, where are we going to put a park? I guess we can put a park anywhere because our roads are only too wide. So we'll just put a park like right over here. That's a nice place for a park. And then we'll also build a movie theater, just because like we gotta keep something going. So put the movie theater just over here, I guess. Sure, that works. There we go. Okay, hopefully once we get the recreation going in, the environment's a bit better. Because if you look at this right here, the recreation environment, all these safeties, they really do affect your city. Like traffic congestion, it's pretty bad. It's always important to well connect and just have lots of roads, I guess. Just to keep your money. There we go. We're finally not hemorrhaging money. We're not going to die. We're going to make it. So this is expert mode. It's a lot harder. And while we, I guess, slowly expand our city and do quests, because we got some basic population challenges right here, will give us some money, which I could quite do with that right now. And yeah, I guess one thing I will say about this game. Oh, I guess I just have been ignoring the quest the entire time. One thing I will say about this game is it does seem to be one of those games that just ramps up the difficulty, like, the numbers for hard rather than having new challenges. But a part of me does like that, because the game, city management should be this delicate balance of, like, everyone's got to be kept happy all the time, just to be kind of, okay, there we go, $1,000 more. Look at this, okay, we're finally making a profit. The city is not going to go under. I mean, if that's not success, then I don't know what is. So, yeah, the whole goal to keep... Because, our taxes are quite high already, and it's, going much higher than high is, it's not a good thing, not something you necessarily want to do. Also, you probably will need to borrow money from the bank at some point during this. It's just this whole thing. But yeah, keeping all of these things, like keeping your citizens happy so you can tax them, is kind of the name of the game here. Like, in normal, you can kind of pick, like, do you want to go low tax and just not really care about everything else and try and keep things going? Or do you want to go high tax and high happiness? You kind of have to go high tax, high happiness, I believe, for this to work, as you've seen already. So we'll just build roads out to there, and that should ease the traffic, I guess. Again, later down the line, getting your traffic going better, much easier than right now, but that's just an issue we'll deal with, I guess. And then to make this easier, we'll also have the traffic over here, or a big road over here. Fun thing is, roads gives you XP, which means you can level up easy, which gives you money. So really, it's just, roads are a good investment. Only in Pocket City, probably not for the majority of life. So yeah, let's build a few more industrial zones, just to get that population going higher. Because, we get a big reward at 400, and we're sitting there so close at 398. Oh, there we go, never mind, it looks like it just happened. Growth spurt, $2,000. And yeah, a lot of what's going to keep you going early on the game is just all these rewards the game throws at you. But I'm imagining later down the line, it's going to be a real struggle just to stay afloat. When, like, a natural disaster hits, most of your production goes down, you got to rebuild instantly. These challenges, they're going to be a lot of fun, and I guess we'll kind of work through them together, shall we? So anyway, while we do some basic city management, get the city doing some fairly basic things, let me talk about just something that kind of irked me a bit, because I'm not a big fan of people calling you. Like, phone calls are a huge, like, they're a big effort. I think they're more for an effort for me than most people, because people call each other all the time, but it's something like, please, phone call is the last resort for me. Please don't call me unless it must be done. I know it's ironic that I'm saying that as I play games on my phone. Or maybe it's not ironic. Maybe this is proof that, like, this is for games and browsing the internet, and if it in emergencies only, maybe someone can call me, or I can call 999 or whatever. 911 for my international viewers. We have to build power right now, by the way. But the interesting thing is, so I filled out a form on a website yesterday because I was looking for a quote for insurance, health insurance, if you want to know. Long story why and how. There's a cool app, and I figured like there'd be some good incentives for that. Maybe we can talk about that some other time. But like I just filled it in. It's like, oh, it's going to cost, I don't know, it's like $46.88 a month for like everything included. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cheap, but I'll do this some other time. Like I'll look into whether it's worth it or not based on people who have done it. Because that is a lot cheaper than most countries pay for health insurance, right? But like, is it worth it? That's the big question. Who knows for sure? But anyway, it's just something I did, and then the next morning I get it. Oh, earlier this morning, I don't know why I say the next morning. I got a call from I got a call from that same insurance being like, oh, we noticed you filled out a form on our website yesterday and didn't go through. And it's like, yeah, I didn't go through. It's not, this phone call isn't going to remind me to be like, oh, yeah, I didn't go through with that because I just forgot somehow. And it's like, oh, yeah, thank you for reminding me. Goodbye. And it's like, oh, no, we got some really good information for you. We really want to tell you more about it. We got this great offer or whatever. It's going to be individually tailored. And I was like, okay, then, if you really must or whatever. And it's like, this is rude already. Calling someone up who has filled in, like, websites are great because you can get information without, like, having to speak to someone, forcing me to have a conversation with you. Already going pretty far. But the worst bit was like, okay, just before we can say anything else, have you had cancer in the last 10 years? And I'm like, no. Are you aged 18 to 79? No. Actually, I don't know what I said. I said something really like, I guess technically I wasn't saying yes, I just said like, I'd like to believe so. And then it's like, have you had psychiatric treatment in the last 5 years? And it's like, I'm pretty sure not. You know, they ask a bunch of weird questions because I guess it's health insurance, they have to. That's their business or whatever. And after that, they're like, okay, so now we'll just transfer you to the person that does it. It's like, no, you're meant to answer my questions. And it's like, oh, they're going to put you on hold for a little bit. Don't worry, be there right away. And then 15 minutes pass, and I'm like, wait a minute, I don't want this phone call. Why am I wasting my battery? Because phone calls are one of the worst users of battery. I know this is kind of, not ironic, but like funny that like, one of the worst ways to waste your phone battery is to have phone calls or whatever. But then it's like, this is 15 minutes, my phone battery, off my day, because I can't be recording while I'm doing this or whatever. And it's just like, why? I'm hanging up on this. And then later, you know, maybe half an hour later, I get the same call and she's like, oh, it seems like they disconnected. I'm like, yeah, I hung up. You put me on hold for something you wanted to do. And they're like, oh, sorry, it's just really busy on, you know, these mornings. It's like, it's a Tuesday morning. Like 11 a.m. too, not like morning. It's like, how is it busy at 11 a.m.? So, oh yeah, that's just a thing. I'm like, you called me. You don't get to call me and then say, sorry, we're so busy. Call me at a time you're not busy. And I was like, okay, can you call me at a time? And then I was like, okay, we're kind of done here. And they're like, oh, so when do you want us to call you back? And I'm like, just the time you're not busy, I guess. And they're like, oh, I don't know when that would be. Maybe tomorrow morning. And it's like, oh my god. What is Wednesday morning so much better at than Tuesday morning? Anyway, it was the most ridiculous thing. Like I can't fathom who fills out a form on a website, doesn't complete it, and then is praying for the company to call them back. It's just like weird ways to get sales from it, and it's the worst thing in the world to me to be like, I'm gonna force you through this ordeal, and then I'm gonna put you on hold because we're too busy to force you through this ordeal. It's like, I don't know. If you're gonna be rude, at least be rude and efficient. You know, that's always been my policy. You know, like when it comes to you know, like when people use weird clickbait and then they have a huge ad in the video and then it's like also subscribe, hit the bell. It's like, be efficient with your inefficiency at least. You know, that's always been my policy. Maybe it's a bad policy, honestly. But yeah, you can see by the way, my traffic congestion is 38%, which is, oh, actually I think low is better. And tax satisfaction's low. Recreation is super low, so I think we're just gonna have to build a bunch of cinemas or whatever, because that's all we can just about do right now. So yeah, we're in a pretty dire situation as far as like everything. Oh, maybe we've got some quests we can get going down. Yeah, we'll just build some trees. There's a good idea. Plant 10 trees, get $7,500. I want to say trees cost less than $750 each, so I can make a big profit there, and also use some land that I'm not really using anyway right now. So leisure, outdoors, trees. Yeah, they're 500. I just build 10 trees, get some money. Look at that. Make money, get paid. Easy stuff. Then I can, you know, demolish it later. But for now, at least it's improving the environment, which somehow increases your tax base, right? Yeah, the environment. People are happier of a. I guess happiness makes sense. But yeah, it's a pretty hard thing getting the game going early on. Like, oh, so accessibility is 100%, but there's road traffic really bad over there. How is that the case? You know, like, it's definitely. Oh, I already have a boyfriend. What is that? It's definitely a real hard balance in expert mode. But again, because we beat the game, but because I want this giant rubber ducky. One day, we're going to get this giant ducky and the party DJ at the same time. It's kind of worth the whole build-up towards that. Also, we don't have access to the river. We have to buy land just to get there. So that's going to be mildly annoying too. But everything else seems like we got a good city. Seems like we got a good... Oh no, that's wrong. We got a good start to things. And we've even got some trees. I think we need 2 more. And there we go. Oh wait, where's the money? Is that not enough trees? Oh, it's because they're not fully constructed yet. Okay, as soon as they're all done, give me that money. Yeah, $7,500. That's how you get paid. Oh, it's not done yet. There we go, look at that. $7,500. So I spent 5,000 on my city, which I don't... Honestly, trees are one of the worst things to use. Like, if you want some... Oh, no, sorry. That's the recording thing. If you want some good tips for Pocket City, I would say trees are just... Like, pure environment is never worth it. You always want to have environment with leisure, like a small park. Would recommend infinitely over it. A large park, especially. And if you're not going to do that, then, you know, movie theaters, they work just fine too. So, just some pro tips for you right there. Because, again, I feel like when something is such a low value use for land, it's fine if you don't care about where the land is or any of the value or anything like that. But, you know, maybe you do care. In fact, you probably should care, is what I'm going to say. So, that's a thing right there. So, next up, we're going to build another movie theater. I want to say... Okay, there's no spaces for it up there. We'll just make a space over here. Like, at the end of every one of these, we can have some things. And it looks like we need a water well now. Or a water tower. Again, exactly the opposite of a well, but let's pretend that's not the case. Oh, another thing we're going to have to watch out for is last game, we didn't worry about our goods balance the entire time. It just wasn't an issue. But in this game, it's costing us $300 a second. And given that we're making, what, like $70, $80 a second, it looks like right there, you know, probably seems like a good investment to make sure we get that on lockdown. So yeah, as you can see, Pocket City from this first little episode, the challenges are pretty real. We have a nice city starting here. We've got a good tax base. It looks like around about, yeah, $100 a second. I'm going to try and raise it just now just to show you, like, that there is a point where things get pretty bad. If we go high property tax too, some people will move out. Like, we're making now 150, 140, 100, oh. And now the money's gone, like, barely above where it was before, and we're losing population. So, overall, it's a good thing to do, because it allows me to expand and eventually fix those things. But, like, your happiness ratings go down, you feel like a monster, and you gotta balance that out. Like, do you want to be a monster, or do you want to have things go better? And I guess the answer to that, there isn't an answer to that question. It's all about personal choice, I guess. So, first though, we're going to build 2 outside parks, just because I kind of want to improve recreation and also the environment at the same time, and just get people happier. Because, you know, I'm taxing you, but I use that tax money you get. Oh god, what just happened? Oh, that's just a noise. I might be taxing you like crazy, but at least I'm building parks with that tax money. I'm sure most people feel better about that. So you can see, recreation went down 1% somehow, but the environment's at 85%. So, yeah. Things are all golden. All we gotta do now is, again, try and find things to get us to the next level. Mostly doing quests is the way to do that. Like, oh, let's go. Oh, we got events. I didn't even realize we unlocked those. So, block party. Let's do it. Let's have a party. Yeah, the funny thing about this game is, theoretically, I could leave my city this size forever and just log in every 10 minutes, do this block party event, and get all the way to level 100. It will take an absurdly long time. But if you ever feel bad about this and you're like, I'm never gonna make progress in my city or whatever, just remember, you literally don't need to. It's entirely unnecessary. It's just doing it fast. Like, the game will always eventually complete itself because of these events, as long as you okay manage your city. It's just how fast you can get there. And the fact that we got to level 6 in just under 20 minutes, I mean, I want to say that's okay. I don't know for sure. Like, we've got like a solid what is this, like 1/10, 1/15 of the entire landmass covered in roads at least. You're not actually, we're nowhere near finished. But yeah, pro tip also is whenever you need to get XP real quick, just build some roads. Like, it's a good use of money. Like, you're going to need the roads eventually anyway. It improves congestion actually. This is one of the odd things. Even though these roads theoretically go nowhere, traffic congestion has gone down. So my profits are going up, making 140 every like tick, I guess we want to call it. And yeah, long story short, doing counterintuitive things are sometimes the correct things, and that's why you got to do them. So yeah, things are actually going really okay right now. We're making good money in the city. There is very little that can go wrong to get me, until, of course, tornadoes unlock at level 10. So that's our next big like danger, like how we're going to deal with that kind of thing. We've also got fire, which is going to happen soon. Like, we're going to have to deal with fire departments, which is going to be another expense. And you can quickly see how, like, oh yeah, keeping the city even barely managed can be a problem at some point. But for now, I would say we're going to have to save up a bunch of money so we can get $30,000, because I want to buy this piece of land right here. It has a treasure chest on it. I can get a rebate on that money, basically. Like, spend $30,000 on land, get $20,000 back. or maybe it's something different. I also really want to get one of these landmarks, a city tower. Oh, in fact, we can afford that. So let's just put one right there in a nice place. Get everyone excited about their city. Recreation will go up from 59% to who knows what. And yeah, everything's going well in the Toy City, but we do have to do a lot of waiting. I'm not sure if there's any other way around this, but if we need to go from 3,000 to 30,000, we kind of just have to wait and stare at the city. Oh, people are loving that tower. The recreation went down, which I guess means it's a good thing. Yeah, I guess recreation must be a negative factor, not a positive one. Because traffic congestion, you want lower, not higher. Whereas everything else, maybe you want higher. It doesn't make too much sense, actually. Well, I guess we can work that out as we go along. Zone upkeep has its cost. All these things have their cost. But for now, we have a reasonably profitable city on expert mode, and we just have to save up a bunch of money. So next time, I'll join you when I've come close to maxing out my cash, and we can go buy ourselves the treasure chest and get some of the money back. Or maybe we'll unlock the obelisk or something. You know, there's always hopes and dreams of that. But for now, it's been a really fun little episode, actually. I had a lot of fun with today's first part of the brand new series, and I hope that I'll see you in some other videos on this channel and or in this series. Because again, Free Cat channel, it's a weird, I guess the Toy Cat Let's Plays channel. It's a weird combination of Let's Plays, both of mobile games, but also of everything else. Because I intend to play a bunch. Like Donut Country came out today as I record this, which dates when this is being uploaded. There's a lot of games that I want to play, and where should I upload those? This is the channel for that. If you want to see some fun, chill, talk games, then this is the channel for you. And I guess I'll see you all in a future video. Look at this. That money is just slowly going up as we do this. It's wonderful. But yeah, anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.